Imagine losing a Formula One World Championship, not because your rival was faster, not because your strategy failed, but because another team owned by the same company had $6 million on the line. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, that's exactly the situation Formula One could face this season. While fans are watching Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, and the other title contenders battle at the front, another fight is taking place in the midfield, a battle where every single point could be worth millions of dollars. And if Racing Bulls find themselves caught between protecting their own championship position or helping Red Bull Racing, Formula One could be facing one of its biggest ethical questions in years. So, can $6 million influence a championship? Let's find out. Welcome back to Racecraft Explained. Formula One has always been about speed, innovation, and strategy. But behind every race lies another competition that fans rarely think about: the battle for money. Prize money determines how much each team receives at the end of the season, and for midfield teams, moving up just one position in the Constructors' Championship can mean millions of dollars. For Racing Bulls, those millions could transform next year's car. But here's where things become complicated. They're not just another midfield team, they're owned by the same company as Red Bull Racing. That creates a dilemma unlike anything else on the grid. How Formula One prize money works. Let's start with the basics. Formula One earns billions of dollars through television rights, race promoters, sponsorships, and commercial partnerships. A large portion of that money is distributed among the teams. The higher a team finishes in the Constructors' Championship, the larger its payout. Now imagine Racing Bulls are fighting Williams, Haas, or Alpine for 6th place. Every point matters. Every overtake matters. Every finishing position matters, because moving up just one place could be worth around $6 million. That money isn't simply extra profit. It could pay for dozens of aerodynamic upgrades. It could fund simulator development. It could help hire experienced engineers from rival teams, or provide more flexibility under Formula One's cost cap. For a midfield team, $6 million can genuinely influence future performance. The Red Bull connection. Unlike most customer teams, Racing Bulls share ownership with Red Bull Racing. Although both teams compete separately under FIA regulations, they're ultimately part of the same Red Bull family. That's where the debate begins. Imagine Max Verstappen is battling for the Drivers' Championship. Now imagine a Racing Bulls driver is racing directly ahead of Verstappen's title rival. Should Racing Bulls defend aggressively? Should they move aside? Or should they simply race as they normally would? Officially, every team says they compete independently, but Formula One fans have questioned this relationship for years. Every radio message, every pit strategy, every overtake, everything becomes a talking point, even when there's no evidence of wrongdoing. Why $6 million changes everything. Here's what makes this situation fascinating. Suppose Racing Bulls deliberately sacrifice one championship point to benefit Red Bull Racing. That single point might allow another midfield rival to finish ahead of them in the constructors' standings. And suddenly, the team loses around $6 million. That's an enormous financial sacrifice. So why would they do it? Helping Red Bull Racing could strengthen the company's chances of winning another world championship. But protecting Racing Bulls means securing their own future. It's an impossible balancing act. Every decision becomes controversial. Every battle becomes political, and every point becomes priceless. Has this happened before? Formula One has seen controversial team relationships before. From team orders to strategic alliances, the sport has always walked a fine line between cooperation and competition. Fans still remember famous incidents where teammates were asked to move aside. But this situation is different, because we're talking about two separate Formula One teams. That makes every close battle far more controversial. Even if Racing Bulls race completely fairly, the perception alone can create headlines around the world. Sometimes the biggest controversy isn't what actually happens, it's what people believe happened. What the FIA expects: the FIA has strict sporting regulations. Every team is expected to compete independently and fairly. Any attempt to manipulate race results would attract serious scrutiny. That's why Racing Bulls must always be able to justify every strategic decision they make. Whether it's tire strategy, pit stop timing, or defending another driver, everything is analyzed, not just by the FIA, but by rival teams, journalists, and millions of fans watching every lap. Could this decide the championship, 1220 to 1400? Formula One. Championships are often decided by the smallest margins: one safety car, one pit stop, one fastest lap, one mistake, or one midfield battle. If racing bulls ever find themselves racing directly against a championship contender, their decisions could influence far more than their own race. Not because they're trying to manipulate the championship, but because Formula One is so competitive that every point matters. Sometimes the biggest championship moments don't happen between first and second place. They happen in 8th, 9th, or 10th. Conclusion. The $6 million dilemma perfectly shows how modern Formula One has evolved. Today's championship isn't only about who has the fastest car, it's about business, politics, strategy, and financial survival. For racing bulls, every point could be worth millions. For Red Bull Racing, every point could decide another world championship. The question is, if those two goals ever collide, which one should come first? What would you do if you were Racing Bull's team principal? Fight for your own $6 million? Or help your sister team win the championship? Let us know your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the business side of Formula One, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Racecraft Explained, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next F1 analysis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.